Hello, everyone, and welcome to another live episode of Repeater.
This episode is live in the past, and we are live right now.
And even though this is recorded in the past, we are very much alive, as is our special guest, Lauren Ashley Smith. She's a writer on The Rundown with Robin Thede on BET. And Lauren joins us to talk about the song Ain't Nobody by Chaka Khan and Rufus.
It's such a cool song, and we got a really cool person to do the cover. It's Mikki Hommel's third time on the show. She does a beautiful cover of Chaka Khan and Rufus, and then she plays a very cool improvised song with very many suggestions, including Carly Rae Jepsen, and then treats us to a debut of a new song.
Ooh, it is hot new music on a hot new podcast. And if you love this hot new podcast, please tell your friends to, subscribe to us and give us a listen.
Yeah, tell your hot friends.
Yeah, hot friends only, just like all of you. Let's not keep any of you hotties waiting any longer. This is Repeater. Hello.
Hello.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. There we go.
I'm okay.
Yay.
We got it.
Yeah.
Welcome. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. We like to start the show off, which is a show about music, about talking about something that we've been listening to recently. So Pat will get us started.
Yeah, before I get into the music, I do want to say I am disappointed we're not just live streaming a view of your face this entire show.
Oh, yeah? Why?
Because the iPad's there.
Oh, the iPad.
We have the technology.
Of course.
We can do this.
Oh, yeah. We should have been doing Instagram Live this whole time of just me looking two different directions.
Yep, the content
never,
people
never at the camera.
Never knew they wanted.
Yeah.
That's my favorite medium, so I would have appreciated that.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, next time. Mm-hmm. Pat, what have you been listening to?
What I've been listening to, I went and saw a band called Godspeed You Black Emperor the other night. They're like a post-rock band. Mm-hmm. And
After rock.
Yeah, I had to sit through a rock concert.
Yeah.
To get to that.
Give it up for the Rolling Stones, and now something later.
It was 8 hours long. No, it was not. They played, so they're like, if you know Explosions in the Sky, like happy sounding instrumental, like cinematic music. Godspeed is like that, but if the music video is just like a car on fire, it's very like doomy and like spooky, and I love it. I love it. I think I fell in love on Monday night with a performance. I know it sounds hyperbolic, but like I've known about this band for about 14 years, and this is the first time I got to see them play. And I don't know, I wasn't expecting to be moved the way that I was. They played for 2 hours, which was a lot and great, but also because they're a post-rock band, that meant it was 7 songs. So I got
post-rock, everything's longer.
Yeah, I got a lot in. And then before I came out tonight, I was browsing Bandcamp and found a genre called Dungeon Synth.
Cool.
So that's a new thing in my life.
Yeah. I will say, Pat, you're a very, anyone that knows Pat, you're a very like cheerful, happy-go-lucky kind of guy. And I really always love that you are so into things that are like doom-oriented.
Yeah.
Or heavy or dark or black. But I think it's all about balance, people.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Yeah. I balanced out Godspeed with Blood Tower. So
yeah, I love that.
The words you are saying are ringing no bells in my brain, and I need to branch out.
Probably for the better.
Yeah. I have been listening recently to this song I'll shout out. It's called Just Breathe. It's by this artist, Petit Noir. This album must have come out like 3 years ago. He's a South African, I don't know, pop artist. I have no clue what the genre would be, but it's kind of like pulsating.
Like that his name is just Little Black.
Yeah. And from what I can tell from the album cover, he's like not that small. So I don't know. He is black. Parts of it make sense. Maybe not all of it. But he's I don't know. He's like a South African pop singer who has kind of this deep voice that comes out of the 80s almost, like almost that barely singing, but everything's kind of sexy sound. It sounds very sexy and cool and really kind of like, I don't know, Euro-y in a way that it just caught me off guard. It's a surprising, fun track. I'll shout out, there's this great newsletter I get called Lorem Ipsum. And and that's where I discovered this artist because Margot, who runs that newsletter, was in South Africa for like a week or two and giving a bunch of great South African music. So it's very cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good on Little Black, you know?
Little Black.
I've been listening to a song that I feel betrayed by. I just want to put that out up front.
Okay.
Because I was lured into the song under false pretenses. I was watching the Grammys because I have to watch everything to keep up with pop culture. Mm-hmm. And Little Big Town performed their song Better Man. And I was like, at first I was like, who is Little Big Town? Why are there 4 people on stage? Why do I want to be listening to this? And then my brain sort of took the journey. I was like, oh, this song is good. I really like it, actually. Let me go on Tidal and stream it like 100 times. And my obsession with the song got to the point where I like Googled it, which was a mistake.
Oh, no.
Because the song was written by Taylor Swift. My sworn enemy. And
all right.
by the time I found that out, I was already hooked on the song. And I can't quit it. And now I'm having an internal struggle because it's a really well written song. I was like, the lyrics are so good. And I'm like, no.
Man, are you turning?
No. No, never shall I. But I'm in, you know, that's how they get you.
Yeah, that is. All it takes is one good one. I shamefully have one Black Eyed Peas song I love. I will like go to the grave with that. It's a pretty good song. I can't deny it.
What song is it?
God, what is the title of it? It's got some horrible name like Love You Long Time.
Oh God.
It is like lyrically, I don't think any good at all, but it's one of their only, I guess it's like one of their only more subtle songs. Like it's kind of, at least from their era of being huge, it's like, it's kind of laid back and chill pop song. And I'm like, oh, this is really nice. Why can't you do more stuff like this? I don't know. Will.i.am doesn't dictate it.
Well, judging by Fergie's national anthem performance, subtle isn't her favorite thing. So that might be why.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not a band who strikes me as subtle. Doesn't one of them wear like robot parts? So, hey, you know, everyone has one gem. But what song did you want to talk with us about tonight?
The song I wanted to talk about is by Chaka Khan and the band Rufus, but like literally it never, ever comes up in my mind as anything but a Chaka Khan song. Ain't Nobody, which is an amazing song that I love. So that's the song.
We're going to hear a clip of it right now, everyone. Here we go. It's a little pre-chorus. We're about to jump into it.
The synth bass line.
Oh, it's incredible. Rufus is a funk band, so they're bringing it.
Yeah, they're like, baseline, we got you.
Yeah. And then Chaka's like, you need vocals? I am here. There's no weak points in this song.
Not at all.
Great. That's a little clip. A lot of people know it. It's a fantastic tune. We are going to guess why you chose this song tonight.
Go for it.
And oh boy, we're going to be right.
I'm going to hit the nail on the head. No, I'm not. We do this show once a month, and I always forget about this part.
Yeah.
I never... I think you heard this album a lot as a kid because it was in a movie that you had on VHS that you watched all the time. Which movie? Oh boy, I don't. That's a tough question.
Can I give you an assist?
Yeah,
Breakin', which I only know is it's in that movie from the Wikipedia page.
Yep, that's the movie I was thinking about.
Cool. So that's your guess.
Yeah,
Great.
my 100% correct guess.
All right, here's my guess. Gonna really jump here. I think, at a wedding where you have a first dance and it's like nice and romantic usually. And then lots of times they do like a really fun song right after that.
I hate those people.
I think this is the song after your first dance at your wedding that you had everybody come on out to the dance floor. That's my guess.
Oh, man. Excellent guess.
Nice.
I hate the person you think I am.
Okay. You could have blamed it on somebody else,
It's
your
true.
wife or your family being like, we need this, but you could have done it begrudgingly is what I'm saying.
Okay, fair. You're both wrong.
Great.
What?
But I was introduced to the song by my wife.
Oh.
I had never heard it because I grew up listening mostly to like gospel music and Rent, and that was pretty much all that
Okay.
was
Two sides of the same coin.
It was like Kirk Franklin and Mimi and Roger, and that's it. So I didn't hear a lot of music, like a diverse range of music. Or I did, but it was like kind of ambient sound. So when I met my wife, she had this like idea that when we first met, we like to get to know each other better. She gave me this flash drive that was shaped like a fortune cookie, and
Nice.
she's so weird. And she gave me this flash drive with like 30 of her favorite songs on the flash drive. She was like, just a little bit about me, and like just slid it over. And so it had all this great music on it. And one of the songs on the cookie was Ain't Nobody.
Okay.
And the first time I heard it, I was like, this song is so interesting. I don't think I'd ever heard a Chaka Khan song outside of like I'm Every Woman.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, this song is so cool. And it's the song that I associate with like when I first met my wife. And so it like always like inspires like positive feelings in me until we get a divorce, and then I'll hate it.
Of course, those songs that just go to the graveyard as
Yes.
soon as the marriage is over.
So do you remember what it was like specifically about the song? Was it like just the song overall, or was it her voice, or?
There's something. So my favorite kinds of songs are songs that like have really sad themes but are really upbeat, which is why I really like Robin, for example, the artist, because like she has these like heartbreaking songs but that are like still dance hits. And the thing that I really like about Ain't Nobody is that most songs are, it's upbeat but it like is really like feelingsy, and that most songs are either about the act of, they're either about I used to love you or I'm falling in love with you. And this song is like a recap of falling in love. It's like the previously on before a TV show. And she's just like running down like, this is how it was. This is how I felt. And I'm currently in love with you. And so I like the uniqueness of the tense of the song.
Yeah, it is. It is so nice to hear a song where people are just like actively in a stable love.
Yeah.
Because it is not the thing I think most artists are inspired by.
Correct. That's why you like hope Adele gets a divorce all the time. It's like, we don't want you to be happy. We can't have that.
We can't have it. And it is like, I don't know. Like, is it harder for an artist to write from that place, or are most artists maybe just in a place like, is it coincidence that their lack of, I don't know, like hyper creativity is around the time that they're in stable, good relationships? People often say that a lot of musicians, it's like, oh, their first few albums were fantastic, and then they kind of like phoned it in forever. And I wonder if that's just like, if that's a coincidence, or if something about being happy just like makes you less productive in a studio.
I think it's like the same way, like when your friend gets in like a good relationship and they like stop coming to brunch.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, I'm busy. I'm in love. I don't have time for these songs.
Yeah, you're busy doing nothing.
Yeah.
And that is a nice, it's not spoken to enough in
Correct.
A lot of artistic stuff.
Yeah, so that's why I like it.
Yeah, that's really nice. How long have you guys been married now?
We've been married for almost 2.5 years, and we've been together for 8 years.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yes, give it up.
She didn't come to this because she hates comedy.
Yeah.
She's not busy. She's just at home.
Know what you like.
No, yeah.
That's fair.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Don't you guys have kind of a cute story of how you met?
Yeah, we met. We both were in Time Out New York magazine's singles issue around Valentine's Day, and we were both in the magazine, and so we saw each other at the photo shoot. And she saw me, and I was in sweats because I had to go to work after my picture, and she thought I was a slob. And I saw her, and she had half of her head shaved and was in like a leopard print dress and like was like strutting around the place. And I was like, I hate that person. I wish I didn't move to New York because they're everywhere. And so I saw her, and I was like, oh, Jesus. And then we met again at the party that they had for the singles in the magazine. And when I signed up, I told the editor that I was interested in men and women. And at the last minute, I was like, can you just take women off that? Because like, I'm not really out to my coworkers. And I think this is really silly. And like, why would I put that in a magazine? So she obliged very nicely. But my wife, who is, like I said, weird and very outgoing, was talking to the editor of the spread. And later was like, yeah, at the last minute, like a lot of people changed who they were interested in. She was like, point them out. And the editor was like, okay, her, him, her, and her. And she pointed to me, and my wife was like, cool, and came over and started talking to me.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and so we started.
Editor.
Yeah, the editor outed me. And she like came over, started talking to me. She was like really nice. We hit it off, and she invited me to get me and my friend, my old roommate, to go get dinner with her, like in the middle of the party. And we're like, no thanks. And then like 30 minutes later, she invited us to get drinks with her, like go to a second location. I was like, fine, honestly, sure, whatever. Mm-hmm. And we went to the coat check to get our coats, and I like get my coat that's like from Express at best. And she pulled out a gigantic fur coat. And I was like, she is crazy, as I suspected. But still, we'll go to this place with her. And we went to the second location, and she knew everyone at the bar, like coincidentally, but like she seemed like the coolest person, like in New York. And basically, my friend got up to go to the bathroom, and my wife literally teleported and appeared next to me and kissed me. And then we've been together since then.
Whoa.
Yeah. She's aggressive.
Yeah. Clap it up. That is so cool. I don't think I'd ever heard the full story.
Yeah, and our pictures are next to each other in the magazine.
Yeah. Oh man, that's adorable. What is that turn like from thinking you will never like someone ever to then, you know, I guess I would assume after that kiss you were like, I'm on board. This seems cool. Is there any like dissonance at that point, or are you like, is it an ease?
Oh, there's dissonance all the time.
Yeah.
Because we're so different. Like, you guys don't know her. The only people who know her here are my sisters. But she's white, and she has purple hair, and she's from the Upper East Side, and I'm from the Midwest, and she's Jewish, and I'm Christian, and she just has a different life than I have had. So there are constant moments where I'm like, oh my God, we don't do that. And she's like, yes, we do. We're just different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, do you have those same moments as well of her saying, we don't do that? Yes, we do.
Probably. Okay. Like, she's like, we don't go to church. And I'm like, we do. We sure do.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like on paper, you guys are pretty different, right?
On every medium you can think. On paper, on wood, on stone. It doesn't matter.
Okay. So, without prying or anything, but like, so then what is it? What's the glue?
That's a good question. No, because it's like, I say that's a good question because it's like intangible.
Yes.
But we have shared values. We both have a very strong sense of like right and wrong and sense of justice. We both love animals. We both love family, and we both like music and food and traveling and having fun. And even though she does not like comedy, like she has a great sense of humor, and we like bond over that. And she's like, one example is like in our wedding vows, she spent like most of it talking about like how she's committed to like social justice for Black people and disenfranchised people, which is like not something that like I would have ever prompted her to do or anything like that. But we have a lot of shared values that are under the surface of all the other stuff that is very different.
Yeah. I mean, that's great. And like kind of, I guess, probably what anyone would assume, right?
Yeah.
It's like, you got to have that stuff.
Yeah.
Also,
because, she's gorgeous.
Oh, well, that's huge.
Yeah.
That matters a lot. So you were saying earlier that you didn't necessarily, you listened to like a very narrow scope of music growing up. Mm-hmm. So your wife has introduced a lot of stuff to you, or have you already been more introduced to a lot of stuff before her, or?
No, she's introduced me to pretty much everything.
Whoa.
Like, Fleetwood Mac, The Chain was playing outside before this started.
Yeah.
And I asked my sisters, I was like, do you know who sings this? And they're like, mm-mm. And I was like, okay, let me tell you, there's a group called Fleetwood Mac. Stevie Nicks was in it. Brooke just told me this 6 months ago.
Okay.
And I listened to Rumors for the first time, maybe in 2016.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And she was like, why are you listening to Fleetwood Mac? I was like, because I just found out about them.
They're new.
They're new to me. And
they sound kind of like Haim.
Exactly.
They're good.
Exactly. Like, I remember the first time I heard Don't Stop Believin' by Journey was in 2007.
Wow.
That's
And
impressive.
I
You've
heard-
never been in a bar?
I never heard it. Like, for real, I had not. And so I heard somebody covering it at a Story Pirates benefit, actually.
yeah, yeah.
And I was like, this is a really good song. Let me Google what it is. And I was like, oh, it's the most popular song of all time. Great.
That's incredible. So musically, like maybe even you're a bit of an anomaly, right?
Kind of. And it's weird because, like, I was in like a bunch of choirs when I was a kid, and my dad is a musician, and he was like the musician at our church, and he did play a lot. In fairness, he did play a lot of diverse music for us, but I just really did not pick up on it because overwhelmingly so, it was like a lot of like gospel music.
Yeah.
And so I just knew like Mariah Carey, and I knew like Mary J. Blige and Kirk Franklin.
Yeah.
And musical theater, and that's it.
Yeah. And those are all, like, is that true? Are those, like, have all those artists crossed over at one point or another, like, done gospel as well?
I'm not sure.
Mariah.
For sure, Mariah has done
Mariah
like
has?
Christmas
Okay.
albums and
Yes,
stuff.
of course.
And I'm not sure about Mary. And it's not even like I grew up in a super like religious household. It's just that like we didn't really have the cult. Like we spent all of our time together, my sisters and my parents and I. There wasn't a lot of like independent individual, like in your headphones time.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like, we're all listening to this thing. And so we listened to a lot of like, NPR or like public radio and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So it was just like very much communal listening. So there wasn't a lot of time for me to discover like, oh, what music do I personally like?
Yeah. And that's really nice. And I would say also like, very different from my experience. I would say, and I can probably speak for Pat, but feel free to chime in. But it's like, I was definitely a headphones kid, like you get to a certain age and you start to squirrel away the things that you think make you unique that every other 13-year-old is also doing. Like it's whatever, but it is the thing that you're trying to almost find those things that your parents aren't listening to, but it's because we were not a sit together and listen to stuff kind of family, and that to me almost sounds so nice. Like, it doesn't matter what you're listening to really. You're doing it together, which is very cool.
Like the music that my sisters and I loved the most as a kid was the Animaniacs album. And God bless my parents because they listened to that a lot.
Oh my goodness.
So it was like, we're listening to Dad's Bobby McFerrin, and then we're listening to Dot and Wacko and Yakko for 4 days because the girls want to hear it.
Yeah. I will say good taste on your part. Great patience on your parents'
Yes.
part. Both can be true.
Yes.
Yeah.
Getting new music through that USB fortune cookie, has that changed how you find new music or listen to music now? Like, are you doing more headphone listening or?
Yes. So I assume a lot of people have the same experience, but like living in New York, I'm not in the car a lot. So I don't listen to the radio anymore or as much as I did when I was in high school. I just have not had a lot of car time in my life because like when I went to college, I didn't have a car. And in high school, I didn't drive except for like 2 months before I went to college. So I don't have a lot of radio hours logged. So I rely on people to give me music suggestions, and my sisters are really good. So like pretty much every artist I like is because someone sent me a link to something. And then I just sort of like went through a streaming rabbit hole myself. But I like really rely on others. That's why I'm like, all the stuff I'm listening to is like from like 20 years ago because I'm like, oh, that person exists. Cool, awesome. Like I'll be like watching again, like the Grammys. I think a couple years ago, some song was playing. I was like, who is this? Brooke was like, it's the band, and I was like, who is that? I don't know.
Right. Oh, speaking of personal recommendations, I discovered an artist not too long ago because of your Twitter feed.
What was it?
And this artist was Tank.
That is hilarious.
And let me tell you, Tank's got some sexy ass songs. Like, holy shit. Tank is, everyone out there, Tank is giving it to you. Mm-hmm. He is dirty, and he is so jacked and strong.
Yeah.
And he is,
Tank looks like a cartoon.
This for me.
Yeah. No, I mentioned this on one of like our studio episodes because I think it was like a song I shouted out of what I've been listening to lately, and it was maybe you guys will remember the song title is escaping me, but it's basically like the song title is 2 words, and then the word he's leaving off, which he sings the whole time, is fuck. It's called, I think the song's called When I,
yes,
or When We,
yes.
We. And so the song's called When We, but then the chorus is just When We Fuck over and over and over again. And it's basically like, you know, like, this is the reaction your body has when we fuck. This is the reaction my body has when we fuck. And it's a good song.
I apologize deeply. I'm so sorry.
It's brought joy to my life.
I'm glad.
It's been a fun exploration of my own understanding of myself. But no, a personal rec goes a long way.
It does. It really does.
And is a little more surprising because I think for all the credit we can give to our playlist curators on Spotify and Apple Music and such, those insane people that get paid so much money just to put mixes together, you truly do get surprised by things that your friends suggest. Whereas, you know, if it's on a playlist, it's like, yeah, it might be kind of surprising, but it's in your wheelhouse. They already know it's in your wheelhouse. But you might just have somebody like you trust and know and love who suggests something that they don't even realize they're necessarily suggesting to you. Maybe
totally.
They just mention it. Like you just tweeted something.
I think I was live tweeting the show that I work on because we mentioned Tank frequently.
Yeah. And so it's like, but to me, I'm like, oh, that sounds interesting at least. And so that was totally new and totally surprising to me and very cool.
Yeah.
But speaking of work, but your world, like you is surrounded by pop culture.
Totally.
Right? That's a big
Drowning
part
in
of
it.
what you do.
Yeah.
So I imagine music has also seeped in that way. Yeah.
Yeah. I, on the probably less desirable end, have like a catalog in my brain of like my top 10 favorite songs by Real Housewives because I worked on Watch What Happens Live for a long time.
Yep.
So I'm like, Erica Jane, love it. Money Can't Buy You Class by Luann, kind of love it. Kind of a good song. Don't Be Tardy for the Party is a great song. So I have that. But then also the show that I work on now, we do these things called pop-up concerts where they find like sort of lesser known bands and groups. And there are a couple people that have been on. I'm like, oh my gosh, these people are really, really cool. And it's like introduces me to new music constantly.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you remember any of those people?
There's this guy that was on our first episode, I believe, named Duckworth. Mm-hmm. And he's like so talented, just like really, he's like has a very like young Andre 3000 type vibe.
Cool.
And then there are some people coming up, so I probably shouldn't say who they are, but they're great.
Awesome. Nice. Yeah, that's so cool. What is that like? What is it like to live a life inundated with pop culture?
It's great.
Yeah.
But it is weird because I'm at the point where I'm like, do I love this because I love it or do I love it because I've like trained myself to love it? I'm realizing now I love it because I love it.
Yeah.
Like I don't have to Google pictures of Stormy Webster Jenner or Kylie's baby, but I choose to. So I have to own that, you know?
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. So because I mean, you must have had an interest in it in the first place, right? To get into writing for shows that are in that vein.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's it like processing that much information, though?
Yeah, you watch a lot of television, right?
I do.
Yeah.
I do, gladly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I get overwhelmed with just like Twitter with something one celebrity had done.
Right.
And then like sitting down to watch the Grammys was a lot. I mean, also I went to a 2-hour concert the other night, so I guess I shouldn't complain. But it just, to me, it can be so intense, and maybe because it's so flashy and like in your face, but what's it like to process all of that and try to distill it into a TV show?
It makes it more enjoyable. Like, for example, I understand people's impulse when they're like, why are we talking about whether this celebrity got bangs, or why are we talking about whether this person and this person are breaking up? But when you are as living in it as those of us that have the pleasure of working in pop culture are, you have the full context and scope of why stories are interesting. So, like, for example, when Jennifer Aniston and Justin Theroux just announced they were getting a divorce, like, most people were like, oh my God, if I have to hear like Jennifer Aniston's like relationship stuff one more time, I'm going to drown myself. But for those of us that were like, oh my God, this makes sense because that architecture magazine spread that she did that did not mention her husband at all. It, like, you see it with new eyes, and it's like, nobody's reading that. Nobody cares. But for the people who care, like, it really feels like every celebrity is like a companion piece to another celebrity, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's like for people who like watching like Marvel movies and reading the comics, that's what participating and like immersing yourself in pop culture feels like. It feels like a full 360 experience. Because you're like, I have the Instagram stuff, and I have the tabloid stuff, and I have the TV stuff, and they all come together in this cool way.
Yeah, it almost sounds part of the attraction is almost like if you were a detective, or, you know, reading a mystery novel or something. You're really it's like these clues and all these little things. But obviously, if you just hear about the end of like, hey, this guy killed this guy, you're like, who gives a fuck?
Exactly.
People kill each other all the time. Like, I don't care.
Exactly.
You got to get
who
those deets. That's really interesting because I've never thought about it that way. I mean, I understand, you know, obsessing over small things. I think if you're a part of like any community or even mildly like geekdom of something, then that is an appealing thing. But there is certainly this perhaps unwarranted way that people talk about celebrity status or like pop culture stuff of not worthy of that investment, you know. But for some reason, like comic books totally are.
Yeah.
Like there's no real reason to say one is worthy of like processing and taking in and thinking about all the time, and the other one's not. It's just, I guess, some nerd hate. I don't know. Yeah.
Now I'm just trying to figure out which reality series would be the Avengers.
Well, it's one of the ones that probably combines a bunch of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Housewives.
It would probably be Housewives, or it would be something like Celebrity Big Brother that like brings people from different areas together.
Right.
Okay.
Do you have a favorite, I don't know, reality TV show?
Of course I do.
Yes. And
it is by far Vanderpump Rules.
Whoa.
100%.
I've never even heard of this
Vanderpump Rules is a spin-off, basically, of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. There is a housewife named Lisa Vanderpump. Will go fast, but please do the research after this, okay? Lisa Vanderpump owns several restaurants in West Hollywood. One of them is SUR, Sexy Unique Restaurant, okay? That's what it stands for.
Name.
And it can't stand for South?
Nope. Nope. It is both sexy and unique, the restaurant. And so the show follows the servers that work at the restaurant, and their lives have become intertwined. They are not the thing that makes Vanderpump Rules great is that like the housewives are rich. All the housewives have money. All the housewives like have this curated life. The Vanderpump Rules people are waiters and waitresses. They are not rich. They still like to fight. And they like throwing drinks on each other, and they've all had sex with each other several times. So they're and the show has gone on so long. Like, and here's the thing. Again, I'm talking about crossovers here. Right. One of the servers slept with Eddie Cibrian, who is Leanne Rimes' husband, who his ex-wife was on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. It just all overlaps. You understand? Yeah. The show is great, and it's real 100% of the time. It's not like a show where it's like very curated and like I can tell there are storylines. Like people,
like it's almost a bit sloppy, and that's
it is very sloppy. Yeah.
How many seasons are there?
I think Mariah 6.
Oh.
6.
I was expecting
of that.
2.
Wow.
Is it still on? Guess
it's
like
still
50 episodes a season?
No, yeah, pretty much like 30.
Oh my
Jesus.
God. Question: should I watch That or catch up on Game of Thrones.
Where are you in Game of Thrones?
I don't know anymore.
Come on, Pat.
I also skipped 2 seasons.
Honestly, Vanderpump Rules is Shakespearean.
Wow.
I highly recommend it. If you start from the beginning, it's on Hulu, and the storylines are insane.
Wow.
I love the name so much.
Yeah.
It's really good.
It rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, for sure. Can we ask you one more thing? Because it's been brought up several times. You have some pretty cool sisters, huh?
I do.
Who came to they're
Yes,
here.
they're here.
They're in the room.
Hello.
You hear them. I don't know. How much do you love them?
I hate them very much, and I can't be rid of them. I think they're great. Honestly, I was just telling my youngest sister, Mariah, that like I was at a baby shower yesterday. Nobody asked, and I just went into a monologue for about 30 minutes about Mariah's work. And people were looking at me like, I don't care. And I kept doing it. I love them. They're great. We are super close. Like I said before, our parents like really did not like, they didn't believe in babysitters, but it's like, they just like, were like, we don't want to pay for a babysitter. Sure. So like, we were with our parents all the time. We were together all the time. We're all pretty close in age. Mariah will tell you I'm a decade older than her, and that is not true. And that is false.
It is not true.
It's not true. It's not correct. But we, up until recently, Rachel and Mariah lived together, and up until like tomorrow, Mariah and I work together. So we see each other at work every day, and we worked on 4 shows together. So we're like super, super close, and are pretty much like the different angles of the same person.
Wow. Yeah, that seems so nice. And obviously something I feel like your parents fostered, you know, like
Totally.
making you guys freaking friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's very cool.
I think you said earlier you are from the Midwest.
Mm-hmm.
Did you all come to New York at the same time?
No, they
or-
followed me.
Hello.
So you're a trendsetter.
Yeah.
Yeah. The oldest sibling, right?
I'm the oldest.
Yeah, so they got to do what you do.
Yeah, they were
Because they're
like,
forever trying to catch up to you.
Yeah. Forever.
Forever.
Influencer.
Mhm.
Thought
So they'll be
leader.
on this podcast in about 6 months.
Yeah. Keep your heads up. Watch your inboxes. Lauren, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh my God, thanks.
This was so much fun.
Thanks for having me.
If you want to hear Mikki's cover of Ain't Nobody, head on over to repeater.show where we've got it available to stream.
Seriously, you should go do it because it's beautiful. Or maybe you just did and you would agree. It's beautiful. But let's get back to the show for that improvised song and that debut.
So if it's cool, I like to make up songs. So that's how I know Aaron. That's how I know Evan. We're friends. That's how I know Evan from the improv Sketch Town. So I like to make up songs. So all I need is a bunch of words. Ready, set, go! Ooh, I like it. Harry Styles, Kmart, Carmel. Perfect. Anything else? Come on, guys.
Tropical.
Ooh. Anything else? Perfect. Any other words? Oh my God. Hell yeah. Plywood. Okay, so we got Harry Styles, Carmel. What was the other one? There's one over here. Lemon, plywood, swimming pool, snowstorm, tropical, betrayal. That was new. Astoria. Just a shit ton of songs. This is your QED song. Last time I put Carly Rae Jepsen in it. Is it cool if I do it again? Because Evan really likes that person. It was snowing outside. I miss you by my side. Ooh. When you're coming back to Astoria, I remember I was by the swimming pool, trying to act cool. You were sitting on some plywood, and I was like, who's that girl? Who's that girl? She looks like she's from Canada. Carly Rae, oh call me maybe. That was cheap. That was so easy. It was like biting into a lemon. Those pop stars, they always get you down. She's got her own reality show now. She likes to talk about eating caramel. Or caramel? Who knows? She's Canadian. Ooh, but it was so good when I was holding her close. Jeff said, won't you come back to stay? Jeff said, won't you please come back to me? What else? What other words? Do we have other words? Okay, great. I'm no Harry Styles. But bitch, I can point you in the right direction. Oh, now it's warm outside. It's tropical in Astoria, 'cause it's very hipster to be tropical, y'all. Everyone by a palm tree. Come on, won't you come on back? Won't you come to me? I'll sing your sweet songs all night long. Now what you gonna say when I kiss your face? I'll just grab it. Carly Rae. Sometimes you just gotta do that. Sometimes girls like it. Or not. Carly Rae, ooh, what would you say? Did I use all the words? Great. God damn it, I'm great. This is this guy's first time out. So all my songs previous me meeting my fiance were about douchebags. And then as you guys were talking, you're like, it's hard to write songs when you're happy. I was like, this is true at times. So this is a song, I was like, I need a new douchebag. And lately it's been New York. I don't know if you guys feel that way ever. But she likes to kick my butt. But I like it, you know. Said if you make it here, you can make it anywhere. But if I can't make it here, then what? Then what? They said if you make it here, oh, you can make it anywhere. Well, if I can't make it here, then what? Then what? I came here to be someone, which is funny. Guess I couldn't see where it was sunny. Needed buildings 1,000,000 feet tall, trees and concrete stalls. Needed to prove I could do it all. Hey, living high of a dollar slice life. Matchbox with no window inside. I was drawn by those city lights, so bright they drown out the moonlit light. But she stops at me every chance she gets. Loves to see me start to sweat. Turn up the heat, knock me on my feet. Oh my, I love the way she knocks me down. She knocks me down. Oh my, I love the way she knocks me down. She knocks me down. I found love in the city that never sleeps. With the same person twice. Heart as cold as that Rockefeller ice. Whoa, but if I can break through, I know you can too. 'Cause she can be warm in those iron cast arms, tempting you. You can do no wrong, but she laughs at me every chance she gets. Loves in every side to sway. Knocks me on my feet. Oh my, and we'll see. I love the way she knocks me down. She knocks me down. Oh my, and we'll see. I love the way she knocks me down. She knocks me down. Said if you make it here, oh, you could make it anywhere. Well, if I can't make it here, then what? Then what? Then what? Oh, my fucking shit, NYC. Love the way you knock me down. Oh, NYC, come on, girl, knock me down. 'Cause I love the way you look when I get up off the ground. Oh, NYC, come on, girl, knock me down. Oh, NYC, I love the way you knock me down. Oh, NYC, love the way you knock me down. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Evan. Thank you, Pat. Thank you, Lauren.
If you want to keep up with Lauren, you can follow her on social media at Miss LAS on Twitter and Instagram, her preferred platform. That's MSLAS. Or you can watch The Rundown with Robin Thede to get a bit of her writing. It's on BET.
And if you want to keep up with Mikki, listen to her music, see if she's performing nearby, you can go to her website, MikkiHommel.com.
Gosh, this was such a fun live episode of the show. The energy in the room was great, and we just had 2 killer guests.
Yeah, and it was a vibrant experience. I felt the energy in the room was great, and it was really exciting to have Mikki back.
Oh, absolutely. Also, didn't hurt to have both of Lauren's sisters in the audience.
That was incredible.
It really was a lot of great familiar faces, and it felt a bit like a family affair.
It really did, didn't it?
Yeah. Pat, I think of you sometimes as family.
Only sometimes?
No, all the time.
Aww.
Until next time, everybody, hit repeat.
Evan, put your Family Circus t-shirt back on.
Repeater is hosted by Evan Ford Barden and Patrick Cartelli at QED in Astoria, Queens, a place to show and tell. Find out more at QEDAstoria.com. Our show is supported in part by Hi-Fi Records and Cafe in Astoria. Visit them from wherever you are at hi-fi-records.com. Editing by Stephen Garvey. Theme music by the Sun Lions. Everything else by Love Nest Productions. Welcome to Repeater.